Your life, Commissioner. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. You are tuning in for the Board of County Commissioners Superior Court update. It is Thursday, January 6, 2022, 1:32 p.m. This meeting is being live streamed on Thurston County YouTube channel. My name is Carolina Mejia, Chair of the Board. With us today is Commissioner Gary Edwards through our Zoom platform. To my left is County Manager Ramiro Chavez. We are joined by Judge Mary Sue Wilson today and Court Administrator Misty Robinson. So, hello.
Happy New Year. Good afternoon.
Happy New Year. So it is an open discussion today, so I'll hand it off to you, Judge.
Great. I thought I'd just highlight a few things. Probably it'll take 5 minutes. Then if you have questions or topics I didn't cover, anybody happy to address those. I have two categories of topics I wanted to cover. One is challenges of the day or challenges of the month, depending on how we define those challenges that we should be anticipating, but we don't know are coming. And then some general reporting about what we've been up to. So I'll start with the challenges and end on the general reporting. The challenges everybody's faced, of course, the changes to how we're doing business and our operations because of the increase of COVID cases, because of the Omicron variant. And so that's our COVID update, and particularly its impact on operations based upon Dr. Abdelmalik's recommendations to the court. And then, of course, talk about the weather a little bit from last week that we all experienced and the power outage from earlier this week. The bottom line story is I continue to be impressed with our staff and stakeholders because they navigate these things very well. And our goal is always meaningful court proceedings. And those look different on some days, but they still happen. And if we can still get through the people's business by having our court hearings and making decisions and having the participants feel heard and are heard, then we can consider that a success. So in terms of our updates, Dr. Abdelmalik recommended that we suspend jury trials, so we're not bringing jurors to the courthouse. We did that on a week-by-week basis over the Christmas 2 weeks. And then yesterday, we signed a court order that suspends jury trials through February 11th, based upon Dr. Abdelmalik's view that that was necessary for protection of public health, given the high transmissibility of the virus right now, and the uncertainty of whether it's going to significantly impact our hospitals, and that we don't want to bring jurors to the courthouse to be part of a gathering. Hi, Commissioner Menzer. And so we have implemented that, and we are, our order has told everybody, and we're working through what that means. We are also minimizing bringing people to the courthouse. So where we have remote capability, and most of our courtrooms do, 4 of our 6 courtrooms on main campus and our 4 courtrooms at FJC, we are strongly encouraging remote participation in those proceedings where that's possible, again, to minimize the number of people in the courthouse. So we minimize large gatherings so we don't become a breeding location for the virus. People are cooperating. And then we've taken steps to maximize staff telework, and that should all be in place no later than Monday. So we're feeling pretty good about that. Last week, we managed through the inclement weather and still got through our court proceedings. And then the power outage on Tuesday, we at main campus ran a couple of court calendars in our 2 courtrooms that have natural light. And so we ran court without power, but were able to complete some guilty pleas and sentencing proceedings and our preliminary appearance calendars. So I was impressed by our staff supporting that, and all of our stakeholders, clerk's office, prosecutor, public defender, corrections, everybody kind of rallied to how will we modify our operations so that we can still finish our hearings even though we didn't have power. So those are the challenges of the day or challenges of the month that, the report is, it requires us to be nimble and creative and focus on the immediate, but we've been successful. I think everybody's hopeful that the Omicron variant impact to the community will be short-lived. Crossing our fingers. We selected the February 11th date for suspending jury trials based upon Dr. Abdelmalik's input. I think she told us that she hopes to have data that's helpful in terms of knowing what's next later this month, later in January, and then we can think about that in terms of whether we can start jury trials back up mid-February or whether our suspension would need to be extended. So that's the challenges update. And then in terms of casework and trial work, we did, until we suspended jury trials, we conducted and scheduled jury trials nearly every week from March to December. I personally did several multi-week trials. We used Chandler as much as possible, and we are beginning to explore ways to try to do jury trials beyond Chandler and Courtroom 102, but of course, that's a pause right now with Omicron. We are doing bench trials. I will say that we do, after the jury trial's over, we do surveys and chat informally with the jurors. And we've been impressed that jurors have reported that they continue to feel proud of their service in Thurston County, and they continue to feel confident in the public health measures and protocols that we have in place during the jury trial. So of course, everybody wears mask coverings, and we have them 6 feet apart when they're in the courtroom. It makes it a little slower when we're selecting juries, but it's challenging from a audio standpoint, because if you're near the back, harder to hear, but we take steps to make sure everybody can hear. But I like to highlight that we hear from the jurors afterwards that they feel safe and they continue to feel proud of their service. I don't think I've heard and read a survey from any juror that said, "Why did you bring me here?" Now, of course, when we're selecting jurors, we do have jurors say, "I'm not comfortable." If they say that, we are flexible and tell them that we will reschedule them at a later time and let them go, because if a juror doesn't want to be here and or expresses a particular concern, then we excuse them. But that's the report from the vast majority of 2021. We have been able to conduct jury trials. And of course, a lot of our other work is bench trials and other kinds of hearings. And we continue to schedule bench trials because we're not doing jury trials next week. I think I have 3 or 4 judges here at main campus doing bench trials, and then the criminal calendars. So we're focusing our resources in that way. And then, of course, we have new staff. So we lost a great IT person. We gained a new great IT person. And boy, I was glad that he had been here for a few weeks when we had the power outage. He was instrumental in supporting us this week during the power outage. Misty's no longer a new person. She's been here for several months and doing great work. And then that we swore in new judges. We swore in Judge Thomas November 1st and Judge Zip December 6th, I think it was. And they've been training. They'll go to Judicial College at the end of this month. And we've been assigning them courtroom work and providing feedback and supporting their development. So that's exciting. It's always exciting to have new folks, and they're doing good work already and really engaged. So lots happening at the court. Those were the things I wanted to highlight. I'm guessing that you may have questions for us, but before I invite questions, I'll ask our court administrator, Misty Robinson, if she has anything else she would like to add.
Just one thing that I thought might be worth mentioning is that the court sees the need to be more strategic and is engaging in a strategic priority setting process early in February. And we look forward to sharing the results of that with you so we can, excuse me, so we can partner with you on the things that we feel are important for us in the next 1, 2, 3 years.
Great. Okay, thank you. Questions? Commissioner Edwards?
Actually, I don't have any questions. I'm just amazed that the court is able to keep functioning as well as they have. So, no, thank you, Judge. No questions.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Menser?
Yeah, I was gonna ask about the new judges, and you touched on that. I know you're also needing a new commissioner, and I wasn't sure where that process stood.
Well, thanks for asking that. Actually, we did hire a new family court commissioner, Pamela Nagura, and she was sworn in second week of December. She was a one-day part-time commissioner for us. So if you're thinking of an advertisement, we're presently recruiting for her one-day position. But she started mid December, and she's hearing a lot of family law calendars. Basically, a lot of the role that Commissioner Thomas, now Judge Thomas, was hearing before she left. And we had a lot of local lawyers who helped us out as pro tems during the gap between Commissioner Thomas becoming Judge Thomas and us filling that position. But we're glad to have that filled. And she's doing a great job. She came to us from, she had been doing some, as I said, part-time commissioner work for us on the ITA docket. And she also did quite a bit of work in Grace Harbor as a pro tem commissioner there in the family law and criminal law setting. So she's got quite a bit of experience.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. I have no questions. Ramiro?
No, I really don't have any questions. I'd just like to say, Judge and Misty, thank you very much for the continued cooperation, open conversation that you're open to have. So I appreciate the working relationship.
Thank you. I wanted to, I'm sure you all knew former Chief Justice Mary Fairhurst. I wanted to make sure that if you knew that she had passed away in December, and there's a celebration of life for her at St. Martin's Pavilion on Sunday, January 30th at 1:30. But I think everybody knew Chief Justice Mary Fairhurst. I was fortunate to call her friend and mentor for many years. She had about 5 years on me from graduating from Gonzaga Law and then starting at the Attorney General's office. But she was just a role model for so many of us as a kind, loving, hardworking member of our legal community. And I wanted to share with you that she, just a month before her passing, she hosted all of the Thurston County judges at her house, the district court judges and the superior court judges. She felt, even though she had been at the state Supreme Court because her home was Thurston County, she felt a particular connection to us, and she hosted us, and we knew she was not well and said, you don't have to. And she said, no, I want to. And so we were really lucky to be able to spend some quality time with her. And she wanted to do it to highlight welcoming our newest judges. So I want to share that with you all just because Mary, fabulous, fabulous member of our community, inspiration to me, and I know to many others. And I thought you all would like to hear about that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that.
Okay, with that, if there is not anything else, I will go ahead and adjourn this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.